Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, likes, comments, and subscribes are appreciated. They do indeed help. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. A lot of the price news, as we've seen the last couple of days, has been kind of all over the place. At least at the time of me making this video, Bitcoin's price looks absolutely insane, and I don't even mean that in a joking manner. There's a huge amount of, I don't even know what you would call these, pizza slices. They don't even look completely correct if you want to say that. There have been many attempts over the evening for Bitcoin to really shoot up in price, and then price continues to slam back down. There are many altcoins that have been affected by this, but Ethereum, for some reason, at least at the time of me making this video, is in the green. And many other altcoins are also in green as well, but you can tell that the push downs from Bitcoin is affecting, of course, the entire market. I've seen a lot of people in the comment section here and also on Twitter and also on Instagram discussing and saying how annoyed that they are that Bitcoin is able to do this. Yeah, this is a story as old as time, I promise you. You're not the first person to say that or think that or feel that way. The Bitcoin magnet in the market has been a very big topic, a very big trend for a long time. It was believed in 2017 that by the year 2020 or 2021, many coins would kind of move independently of each other completely. Like, you know, if news happened on one, it would never affect another chain. But that's not where we are. I told you all before, and I'll continue telling you again, Bitcoin is the market. Just in case you kind of forgot that. There was very little Ethereum price news today. A lot of it focused around the Bitcoin near 37,000 support. I think we're currently at 37,900. We've moved back up since this article came out a couple of hours ago. The really popular news actually had to do with Cardano. But even that, I think, was also slightly off because people were reporting the actual incorrect thing. It says, while the overall cryptocurrency market looks subdued at this point, the world's fifth largest cryptocurrency, ADA, is showing strong moves. At press time, Cardano is up by 5% and trading at $1.37 with a market cap of 42 billion US dollars. Hoskinson confirmed. So the news is that after the hard fork that we're expecting to happen sometime this month, that smart contracts will be available on Cardano, and therefore we'll have this and NFTs and ABCs and all these other things on the actual platform. But we've known that Cardano was going to have smart contract functionality for a while. The news that Hoskinson said that this would all be available happened on the 30th of July. I don't think that Cardano's price would have risen 5 days later unless it was like a sloth or something like that that goes ooh and gets really excited like days later about something. The actual Cardano news that's been floating around and that's also actually quite popular is that apparently Cardano is getting listed on a cryptocurrency exchange in Japan. When you read around, apparently it is incredibly difficult to have this happen, and therefore this is why it's made the news. Earlier today, Sebastian Guillermo, CTO at DC Spark, as well as former co-VP, I don't care what he does, says that Cardano has finally been approved for listing on a Japanese crypto exchange and explained why this is a big deal. Apparently, it's incredibly difficult to actually gain any type of regulatory support to actually have a cryptocurrency listed on a cryptocurrency exchange within Japan. In 2015-16 and the early 2017s, Japan was one of the friendliest cryptocurrency places on the planet. I think they had even declared Bitcoin as legal tender or as money. I forgot exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure you can find it. Type in like Bitcoin legal money or tender Japan 2017. You'll be able to find some articles about it. Everyone was very excited. And then, of course, as always, because we can never have anything nice, a whole bunch of bad actors came into the cryptocurrency space and basically began to make ICOs and all these other things that were very fraudulent and started taking money from people. I think Japan, this is just my feeling, I think they were a little embarrassed at their move to go so quickly, so fast into the cryptocurrency space and to kind of allow everything to kind of flood into the market, that they begin to really restrict cryptocurrency exchanges and the licenses that you could get. And there was a day where they discussed banning it, but of course that was not going to happen. It was simply that they needed more regulations. And apparently it says so far the only number of crypto assets allowed, I believe, or that have gained regulatory approval within the country are Bitcoin, Bcash, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, BAT, Stellar, NEM, Tezos, and Polkadot. Not a huge number right there. But we know that the Japanese market, much like the South Korean market, is quite hot, if you will, and they really do enjoy the cryptocurrency space. And they are, once again, for those of you who were not here in 2017, Japan and South Korea moved the market. It wasn't the US, it wasn't all of Europe. It was these two countries who really, they had a stronghold on the market. They basically were the trend setters, if you will. Every time something happened, it was because of them. And there was even premiums on their prices in cryptocurrency within their country. This is why we had the kimchi premium in South Korea, where basically, they had like an 8-9% premium on Bitcoin because they were buying it so fast. So anyway, that, I believe, is the reason why Cardano has gone up in price. If it is very difficult to get listed in Japan, and they've finally been listed in Japan, well, gosh darn it, that makes a bit more sense than something that Charles Hoskinson said 5 days ago, and that we all knew what eventually happened on the actual network. Yeah. That's basically all the price news. Also kind of this one as well, if you will. It says Pantera Boss has said upcoming Ethereum catalyst could cause ETH to outperform Bitcoin. It's kind of the same of what we've been getting the last couple of weeks. A lot of people still have this narrative. And we will see. The network is happening either like late in the night today or early tomorrow morning, depending on where you look. The upgrade for Ethereum EIP 1559 says that it's slated for the 4th of August, but it's usually like a later time of day or very early in the morning for the other side of the world. So we will see if all these predictions end up coming true. I'm not so much talking about the price thing. The price just has to do with actual supply and demand. The demand is there. The supply will go down. Logically, the price should also follow and start moving up as well. But as far as it outperforming Bitcoin, and I mean doing like a 25% daily increase as opposed to Bitcoin's 5% daily increase, and or eventually flipping Bitcoin, well, now is the actual time for it. So there was also like 1 or 2 articles talking about Ethereum's price, but once again, we've been going over that every single day, so it seems completely redundant to kind of throw it back into the news. So yeah, that's all the price news. No other altcoin made any news headlines today, if you will. And yeah, let's move on. In the most popular news story of the day, Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's Vision has reportedly suffered a massive 51% attack beginning around 11:45 a.m. on Tuesday, resulting in up to 3 versions of its chains being mined simultaneously. So basically what happened is that they attack the chain. You can basically, when you have more than 51% of the hash rate of a network, you can basically do whatever you want. They created other chains that basically went to the side of it, and they were also completing transactions as well. Analyst provider Coinmetrics confirmed on Tuesday afternoon that its Farum risk management platform had identified the 51% attack. Here's the tweet for it right here. Information about the attack was further corroborated by Lucas Nuzzi, a data network product manager at Coinmetrics. He said someone is seriously trying to destroy BSV. He said for over 3 hours, attackers were able to take over the chain. All exchanges that received BSV deposits during that time might have been double spent. This is terrible for any chain for this to actually happen. But part of the problem is a lot. When you talk about, and I'm going to put this into context for you, when you talk about corporations and companies and banks and family offices and billions of people around the world, let's say hundreds of millions of people around the world, actively buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, any other cryptocurrency, and people really not understanding the significance of that, is kind of on the same exact par with a network having a 51% attack, having extra chains being created, and the double spend feature. The idea of Bitcoin is to always just have 21 million coins. If at any point in the future that was changed or destroyed, or there were 21 million and one coin, the value proposition of Bitcoin would completely fall apart and completely be destroyed. So many other, and I tell you this because so many other chains and copycats of Bitcoin over the last 2 years have had 51% attacks, have had extra chains being created, and also have had double spends happen, which basically means that the the value proposition of them being a chain or continuing to be a chain no longer makes any sense. You are no longer a 21 million coin chain. There are now other coins out there, and therefore you are not better and will never be better than Bitcoin. But the way that our market works now is that people don't really care about 51% attacks because they don't understand what 51% attacks are, and they still cling on to these chains and they think that these things are actually Bitcoin because the people behind these coins told them out loud that they were Satoshi Nakamoto at some point in the last couple of years. This is extremely detrimental to a chain. There's also an article somewhere around here, because I mean, it is the most talked about news story of the day. Basically saying, will this affect its price? This coin should be at zero. And I don't mean it and I don't mean that in a joking way. It should actually, it has no more value anymore. The attack has happened, and this isn't the first 51% attack that's also happened on this chain. There's also been, I think, 1 or 2 other attempts on Bitcoin Cash as well. But people still follow these chains for whatever actual reasons. These chains, Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi Vision, and Bitcoin Cash were created as cash grabs. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you actually think. We know for a fact that the people who created these coins were just trying to find another way because they wanted to get control of Bitcoin, the actual main chain, and were told basically go away. You have no right to be here. We don't want to do your changes on our actual chain. You can create a side chain if you think that it's actually important. And they said, no, I'm going to go to the press and I'm going to say that I'm Satoshi Nakamoto and I'm so and so and so, and therefore I'm going to create my own other coin. A lot of people, I think maybe just a couple of people, were asking me on random places the risk of this happening to Bitcoin. The risk is incredibly low. Why? Because Bitcoin actually has people validating its chain. People actually are supporting Bitcoin. People have nodes. People are running an enormous amount of hardware equipment. No one cares about Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi Vision, and very few people actually care about Bitcoin Cash. I told you all this before, told you all years ago. This is not an I told you so. I promise you that it's not. It's more so please pay attention to when all these crappy coins continuously pop up saying that they're better, stronger, faster, more than Bitcoin, have a higher block size, can do this, so and so and so. No one actually cares about that. Bitcoin has already won the race. We know that explicitly. I told you this before sometime last year when we had all the information from all the banks, all the institutions, all the other people who are getting into the cryptocurrency space. And the only coin that they were buying was Bitcoin. They were buying Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Our customers want Bitcoin. We're buying Bitcoin, integrating Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. That was the name of the game over and over and over. And then I said, hey, this is significant. Why? Because a couple of places were also announcing, hey, we're also buying Ethereum. Ethereum. Let's buy some Ethereum. These are the main 2 coins that have been purchased up by institutions. And we know this legally because they have to actually announce this with the SEC. That's why I have the other videos on my other channel, which I don't really upload to that much anymore because I'm extremely tired. Basically, for those of you who haven't seen those videos, it was basically all these companies who had to basically announce that they were buying Bitcoin in some sort of capacity, or people went through their SEC filing and we saw that they bought Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin Cash, not Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's Vision, not Bitcoin Diamond, not Bitcoin Red, not Bitcoin Blue. I think there's a Bitcoin Lite as well. These are all real coins and no one is actually using them. So, to bring it on back, this would cost an enormous amount of money to actually have this happen on Bitcoin. The idea being is that you have to really have nothing better to do with your time, and you have to have nearly hundreds of billions of dollars to even want to even think about attempting to do something like this to Bitcoin. Part of the issue for them is, anyone thinking of having a 51% attack on Bitcoin, is that it would cost such a huge amount of money, and you would only be able to reorganize or rechain or reach something to do to the network for maybe a couple of minutes. Actually, just a couple of minutes, because everyone else on the network, the other rest of the consensus would simply go, something's wrong, there's a problem, let's shift over, let's hard fork, let's have some other type of thing where we basically go back to the other chain that has all the actual transactions on it. That is the real chain. You would know from the get-go exactly what the new chain was that the attackers or perpetrators were trying to create. It would be network consensus. Everybody would go, that's the false one. Let's move over to this one. And basically the one that's being 51% attacked would continue to be 51% attacked. And these people would be losing billions of dollars while we have all moved over and hard forked to a brand new, wonderful existence. And these people have spent billions of dollars for nothing. That's how it actually works. So when you can be 51% attacked for hours, it means it costs almost nothing to actually attack your network because no one's validating or protecting your network. You can find these numbers all over the place. I found the easiest to understand one because there are tons of other people who are writing articles like this, and they kind of go into the stratosphere. I mean, like, you know, astronomical weird numbers and stuff like that. Basically, it would cost billions of dollars just for the hardware to be able to try and do this to the Bitcoin network, and also cost them billions of dollars between electricity and attacking the network and other vectors and yada, 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 yada. So yes, while this is technically possible for this to happen to Bitcoin's network, I mean, it's also possible for, you know, lobsters to come out of the moon and strap on jetpacks and fly to Earth and ask to be served a buffet. See, it sounds weird, but there's still like a 0.00000000001% chance of that actually being able to happen. This is also able to happen to Bitcoin's network, but the actuality of it happening are relatively close to zero. The people who have spent hundreds of millions or low billions of dollars to actually get Bitcoin mining equipment are not going to go, I think I want to lose all my money today, and then go and attack the network. So, no, the odds of that happening are basically zero. On top of that, here's the actual tweet that we were just talking about the 51% attack from the tweet. It says, BSV hit by 51% attack, 3 malicious chains created. BSV network suffers another major 51% attack. Will exchanges delist it now? They've been delisting it for a very long time. No one uses the chain, and for those of you who have not been looking at the news, I haven't reported it because it's been something since 2018. The people who created this chain, anytime that someone says something specific against them, like the actual, you know, people, they've been trying to sue people. I think Vitalik Buterin once said something about somebody and they tried to sue him as well. So why would you want to work with a company? Because they're a company, they're not an actual decentralized organization, who would just attack you all the time if you said anything negative about them. We've seen, I think, delistings from Binance. I think many other companies haven't even listed them in the first place, and anyone else who did list them announced that this was about a month ago, that they were dropping support for their mining pool. There was also a problem from the people who created Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision, who were trying to sue anyone who had a white paper on their website. The white paper basically being the mantra or the reason why Bitcoin exists. So they said, no, this actually pertains to Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision. You can't have it on your website. We're going to sue you if you have it on your website. Why would you want to work with them? Anyway, that's the most popular news story of the day. Nothing else even came close to it. Exchanges should have never listed this garbage in the first place. The same exact thing with many other copies of coins. Many years ago, people were even listing Bitcoin Diamond and remember Bitcoin Gold, and remember all these other chains that no one, I told you, would ever use. And now we've finally come to this point. So for those of you who are relatively new to the market, anytime you see anything that is not the word Bitcoin, if there's any other word behind it, don't use it. I'm telling you that explicitly right now because the same exact thing is going to happen. There's going to be another clone at some other point, or some other clone will try to come back into the top 50 coins and blah, 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 blah. Just trying to help all of you out, as I have been doing every single day. The point of this channel is to really help you understand how ridiculous this market is. Every time we get some nonsensical news about some company who's talking about that they don't like Bitcoin or so and so and so, I'll show you the articles that they've been into Bitcoin since 2017. They're trying to get you out of the market. The market is a very weird labyrinth-like place. I'm here to help you. Once again, that's the point of the channel. Yeah, that's the Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision news. And let's move on. Next up, also this was quite popular, but I mean, like, Google is running crypto ads again after it updated its financial products and services policy that went into effect yesterday. The multinational giant banned crypto and ICO-related advertisements back in June 2018, and the updated policy allows regulated crypto entities to market their services once again. ICOs have been left out in the cold because no one's using ICOs, so I whatever. For those of you who were not here a couple of years ago, at the end of 2017, when we had, there was a massive coordinated 6-month attack against the cryptocurrency market. This is why we fell in price. And even more so, the reason why we fell even further was, anyway, the point being, At the end of 2017, when Bitcoin futures were allowed to finally launch, people who were into Bitcoin futures were actually allowed to bet against and or short the Bitcoin market. This is part of the reason, or believed why, we actually fell in price. At the beginning of 2018, there were at least 20 different countries who came out on a weekly basis, and I mean like an actual like week after each other. It was so obvious that they were doing it, to announce that they were thinking of banning Bitcoin, destroying Bitcoin, stopping Bitcoin. No one can use Bitcoin. Bitcoin's banned. Whatever words you can push together in the English language, they were talking about doing it. By the time we got to around April, May time within the cryptocurrency space, that news was no longer really rattling or shaking markets as much anymore, because everyone's like, if you're going to ban it, just ban it. But none of them really banned it, except for I think one country who eventually like U-turned and was like, hey, now we're just going to tax it. The other part is that big companies were told to stop having crypto advertisements. The idea being, a lot of them were fraudulent. People didn't know what they were getting into. It was kind of this, once again, this idea that people within the cryptocurrency space were too stupid to know exactly what they were doing, and therefore you have to ban the ads because they won't know exactly what they're getting into. So anything that pertained to Bitcoin, to Ethereum, to Litecoin, to any other coin, to any other ICO was banned across the board. No one could advertise it for it. This is why you may have noticed, in 2017, you saw tons of crypto ads all over the place, even on TV and even on the interwebs, and then you saw nothing. It was because of this. I believe it was Google. It was, I don't think Amazon. It was basically any large marketing corporation. You couldn't have it. And the news now is that you can now re-advertise as long as you're a big name. So just expect in the next couple of months to see tons of Gemini, Coinbase, maybe some Kraken stuff out there, maybe even Nano Ledger commercials. Who knows? But it's all legal once again. And ICOs are a bit of a weird pickle. I don't know what to really say there. Because nearly 99% of ICOs were fake. I think we had like maybe 5 real ICOs, and the first one was Ethereum. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the we get it back again news. That's why I said, like, it was popular news, but it's also like it should have never really happened. This was like a knee jerk, a leg jerk, something jerk reaction. And now, of course, because they realize that Bitcoin's not a scam, that they can have ads once again. Woo! Let's move on. Next up, also in news for some reason, a court has ordered one of Russia's largest banks to lift restrictions imposed on the accounts of a Russian citizen who was selling digital coins on cryptocurrency exchanges. The state-owned giant Sberbank, that is SBER, will now have to unblock the client's cards and restore his access to his online banking platform. Can you imagine trying to move your own money around and someone blocking your account? Of course you can, because that's how banks work. And they usually do it under the idea that, well, he must have been doing something illegal. Especially if you read further into the account, they said this man must have been doing some type of money laundering activity. But part of the problem is that banks always launder money. It's not anything new. Banks launder money all the time, and they know that they can do it because they'll only get a slap on the wrist. If you are trying to launder $4.4 billion across channels, across the water, onto a boat, this happens all the time. They put actual physical money and or gold bars onto a boat to move them around to try and launder the money. If you get caught because the banks are too big to fail, they end up getting a fine of like $2 million. Sure, I don't mind moving around $4.4 billion and just having a fine of $2 million. Well, that does absolutely nothing. They probably even have that somewhere in the back just to know that if regulators get on board, they go, well, here's the money that we already have to pay. I know it's not that simple and there's like an actual process to it, but you kind of understand what I'm saying. So the news is the same exact thing. I don't have it in this video, but this is also happening in the UK as well. With Binance, I believe HSBC recently came out and they were like, we're also banning transactions to and from Binance. Blah, 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 blah. We have nothing better to do with our time. We're old and sad, yada, yada, yada. So this person now once again has access to his bank account because he wasn't doing anything fraudulent. He was making money in the cryptocurrency space. And even more so, he was trying to move it back to his bank account. Can you imagine trying to move money to a bank and them going, no, it's touched crypto? Is it just us? Are we the crazy ones who only seem to understand the cryptocurrency digitization future of where all the entire world is going. It's also happened to a friend of mine. I know he doesn't watch the channel. He works for a cryptocurrency company. He was making really good money. They were paying him in the crypto. This is typically how it goes for those of you who didn't know. You get paid in the crypto of the company. But he was cashing it out. The coin did really well. He was cashing some of it out. He was trying to deposit it to his account. He was like, I want to be as transparent as possible. I want to make sure that they see that I've made this money and it goes into my bank account so that I can pay taxes on it. You know, you kind of get the point. He did it twice. First of all, for those of you who want to know, the cash outs were over $100,000. But he called the bank and said, hey, I've got money going to the account. Cool, sir. He sent the money to the account. And then the second time it happened, they completely blocked his account. So he sat there with all this money. It was like, I have no idea what to do. Like, who do I kind of turn to? And then eventually he had a conversation with someone, but they were like, oh, we thought you were doing something illegal. Imagine not asking or calling a client to say, hey, we see huge amounts of money entering your account. Can you explain this to us, as opposed to blocking it? If he had tried to move that $100,000 per month from the account, I'm pretty sure they would have blocked it as well and said, hey, can you give us a reason? Imagine just asking, where's this money coming from? Can you show us proof that this money actually came from here? Perfect. That's all that we needed. Here's your money. And even more so, it's his freaking money. When you talk about the banks, and not this one in particular, clearly, understanding where all of this is going, we no longer need banks. Imagine a world where you can do what you want with your money whenever you want at any time. That's the world that cryptocurrency offers, and they know that, and this is why they're trying to custody it and say, hey, we also are making savings accounts as well for that new digital money thing that all you young people are using, because they're no longer needed. So anyway, good job, sir, for having recontrol over your account. I hope you move to another bank and to just anywhere else, because, you know, logic at this point. And the worst part is going to be when we get news from this bank in about 2 years, I give it 2 years, that they're offering Bitcoin savings accounts, because we all know that it's coming. Let's move on. Next up, I'll tell you the news, and then I'll tell you why it's kind of ridiculous and what the actual purpose of it is. Zcash is considering moving away from the energy-intensive proof-of-work consensus algorithm to the lighter, faster, and more eco-friendly proof-of-stake. Zuko Wilcox told Forbes. Zcash may be ditching proof-of-work in favor of proof-of-stake. The plan to change the Privacy Coin's consensus algorithm comes more than 2 years after Rebecca93 first proposed the move in a, this is actually quite clever, in a ZIP. So like the Ethereum ones are called EIPs. This is ZIP. Zcash improvement proposal. Proof of stake is a mechanism used to secure blockchains, unlike proof of work. Blockchains like Bitcoin, which rely on an energy-intensive mining process. Proof of stake allows users to secure the network by staking crypto tokens rather than providing computational power in proof of stake. It's quicker, better. According to founder Zuko Wilcox, Zcash is starting to think about the potential transactions. Where's the actual thing? Yeah, they said that they're thinking about it because it's worked with a number of other cryptocurrencies. They said it worked with Cardano, Cosmos, Algorand, and Tezos. Zcash, Dash, and Monero were the most popular, if not the only, privacy coins that we had in 2016, 2017, 2018. They've kind of fallen out of favor. No one really explicitly uses them anymore. I told you this in 2017. People were asking why I didn't have these as part of my crypto portfolio. And I told you it's because they have private transactions. Governments don't like that, and they're going to attack these coins immediately. In 2018, part of the crypto market, blah, 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 situation that happened, these coins were targeted and no crypto exchanges were allowed to actually list these coins. I think one of them has like a switch on it, kind of, where you can like either make your transactions private or you can kind of open them up so that everyone can kind of see where they're going. And I think only Coinbase listed one of these coins and is like, whoop-de-doo. The other part of it being is that many other coins are also going to have private transactions at some point in the future. You can Google this. Ethereum, at some point, it has been proposed for Ethereum to also have private transactions. Litecoin sometime this year is also going to have private transactions. Bitcoin is also going to have updates, Taproot and Schnorr, and many other ones over the course of the next years that are also at some point going to make Bitcoin transactions completely private. Many other coins are planning on doing this. It's just that they simply have not done it. So these coins are also once again slightly falling out of favor. The other point is Zcash is no longer in the top 50. It's not even in the top 40, top 30. It's not anywhere. I think it's in the top 60s or something like that. I think this is being done as kind of a way to kind of be like, hey, we're also still here. We're also still relevant. Not that the people behind Zcash aren't doing a gosh darn amazing job at whatever they're actually doing, but no one actually cares about the coin anymore. I think the most popular privacy coin right now is Monero, and that has remained in the top 20 or something like that, top 25, top 30 for a number of years, and therefore I think that'll be kind of be the one that really sticks. And everyone is also having this kind of thing going on right now where they're basically like, oh, we use too much electricity. Let us now move to something that is more environmentally friendly. Look at us. Look at what we're doing. You know, if you really cared about that, you would have done that about 3-4 something years ago. This whole narrative of, oh, now we can be greener is a bit kind of bandwagony. Everyone's kind of jumping on it. And this is why I was like, you know, it's cool if they plan on doing this. I assume this move will take about a good year or two. You'll have to convince the people who are actually mining this coin that they also have to jump onto it as well, which isn't going to be a really easy thing because the miners want to be able to make all their money from mining said coin. But yeah, sure, cool. I hope it works out for them. It says Zcash creator wants Zcash to be less like Bitcoin, more like Ethereum. Sure, cool, go for it. I don't think that'll bring the coin back because at some point we are probably going to have a discussion about other coins who also are proof of work, who are also going to move to proof of stake or have a hybrid chain of some sort, who are also going to have private transactions and stuff like that as well. So it's just not popular anymore. That's just kind of how it is. And I think it's kind of a way for them to remain relevant. But in 5 days, everyone's going to forget about this. I'm telling you. Anyway, that's the Zcash news. And let's move on. And to finish things off, I'm not sure why this was news or why this was so popular, but alas, here we are. According to Charles Barkley, yeah, you see, right? Investors should stay away from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. NBA legend Charles Barkley said that his financial advisors do not recommend involving with cryptocurrencies. That's not English. However, he did not specify why they have such a negative opinion on digital assets. In a recent interview for CNBC, the former professional basketball player Charles Barkley revealed that people who run his financial operations are not keen on virtual currencies. As he said, one of his advisors even insisted on being fired if he ever recommends dealing with digital assets. Why would you say something that stupid? If I try to make you money in another way, fire me? Sure. He said, my people do not believe in crypto. I got a couple of financial guys. One of them said, if I ever put you in crypto, you should fire me on the spot. The 58-year-old American, do people not know that Charles Barkley is American? The 58-year-old, who was named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history, did not explain why the analysts consider digital assets as a no-go area. I'm going to assume his analysts are over 75. If not 80. And I don't mean that as a joke. I assume that the people Charles Barkley is working with, if he's 58 years old, his advisors are probably older than him, and he's probably had them since he was in his 20s or 30s when he had a basketball career. These people probably don't understand cryptocurrency. So this is why they're probably not wanting to get into it. He said, and I know that crypto is all over the place, to be honest with you, but my people don't believe in it. So the news is, once again, this is actual news. This is actual news that someone wrote that got put out there in multiple places, is that Charles Barkley's financial advisors don't care about crypto or don't want him to get into crypto. Does anybody care? I see absolutely no hands. None. Why this is news, I'm not really sure. Are we supposed to care? It's kind of like years ago. So many people lick this guy's toes and it drives me absolutely insane. Warren Buffett. Everyone told me years ago, well, Warren Buffett doesn't like Bitcoin. Why are you into Bitcoin? This was like 2014, 15, 16. I'm like, I don't care what freaking Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett never invested in anything that had to do with technology. Why? Can somebody tell me why? And I know somebody just said it. Warren Buffett said, I only invest in what I know. So he's invested in Dairy Queen and Coca-Cola and a whole bunch of other food places and I think like Fruit of the Loom and also other things like that. Because of stuff that he knows. He says, I don't invest in anything with technology, no Apple, no nothing, no blah, 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 because he doesn't understand it. Should that then deter me from getting into the cryptocurrency space? Because Mr. Warren Buffett, he's like 99 years old. This is going to happen when we're also older. By the time we're in our like 70s, 80s, and 90s, our kids are going to be dating robots. I'm not sure if it's going to be a hologram, if it's going to be an actual robot, and we simply will not understand their love for that machine. We will not get it. It's going to be the exact same thing. So the point is, Charles Barkley's financial advisors have told him no. And the craziest part is, and I think the saddest part as well, is that they're going to get into crypto at some point. If Bitcoin goes to $400,000, $500,000 in the next 3, 4, 5 years, and he has no exposure to Bitcoin, he's either going to fire them and be like, listen, Mike, it's been forever. Or they're going to be like, hey, yeah, we actually going to get you some Bitcoin. It's not real Bitcoin. It's going to be Bitcoin futures. And then by the time Bitcoin's $1 million, he's going to be really upset because he owns no actual Bitcoin. He owns pieces of paper that say that he owns fragments of Bitcoin from some other trust. Why was this news? And I brought it to you specifically because it's nonsensical. I think every single day I'm going to try and throw in some stupid news, as I call it, because who cares? Anyway, you know what's funny? When I just said who cares, I was expecting someone to respond, but I forgot that I'm talking into a microphone. Anyway, moving on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbite University, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudweiser, Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plum Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Stephen Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo, Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grole, Lauren De Silva, Quarterbitty, Bare Bones Mining, Troy, Olga, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Patrick Noster, Conan Doskip, Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moha Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangi Alavodi, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime for this March Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigera, Matronisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, a subscribe. Thank you for all the NFT support. Thank you to everyone who's still here listening to me rambling on. At the moment, Bitcoin is down by 2.07%. When I started the video, it was actually in green, as was Ethereum. You see these movements? These are coordinated move down movements. These movements are absolutely nonsensical. Especially when you look at all the other news. There are a lot of other, what do you call them? Like confused articles is what I'll say. Binance Coin just recently had their largest coin burn ever. Like Binance has only been having good news except for the HSBC doesn't like them. I think Singapore wants them to have paperwork. And was it Thailand who wants to do the Macarena with them or something like that? I don't remember exactly what it was. But besides that, like all the metrics are absolutely incredible. Everyone's using Binance Coin. Everyone's on the platform. Blah, 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 blah. It makes no sense why it's going down. Same exact thing with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin moving down, I believe, is part of a coordinated effort to keep a lot of the other coins down as well. Cardano was doing extremely well and even more. So you can actually see the timing of all this as well. As Cardano was just spiking up, can you see what went down? It was Bitcoin. I don't know why this keeps happening over and over, why Bitcoin, who are the people behind the scenes who are actively forcing Bitcoin to move back and forth, are so obsessed with not having other altcoins actually move up. But alas, here we are. So Cardano's only up by 2.57% at the time of me making this video. Every other coin is slightly in the red, and that's only because Bitcoin keeps having these like slam downs every couple of hours, if you will. Anything else absolutely insane in the market? Luna is up by 13%. Can't exactly tell you why, but alas, here we are. Theta is up by 2%. Axe Infinity is up by 5%. Sure, why not? Anything else crazy? Quant is up by 7%. BitTorrent is up by 3%. Sure, why not? Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, Zcash is coin number 68. I think you can't see the actual number because of the cutoff on the screen. But it is coin number 68 is up by 2%. But once again, people will stop caring in a couple of hours. Anyway, that's all the news. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you're all having a great week. I believe it's only Wednesday. Make sure to go outside and do something fun. Go see a friend. Go see a movie. I think those are possible. Again, watch something on Disney Plus or some other platform. Invite some friends over. Have a good day. Try to enjoy your life. I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you!